What kind of business?
I have a jiu-jitsu school, David Branch Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, where's that?
That's in Hoboken.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Well, man, how long did you have your own spot for?
Almost a year now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's fairly new. How do people find out about that in Hoboken? Is it the website or something?
Website, you know.
What's the website?
DavidBranchJujitsu.com.
Oh, there you go.
So this is big not only for you as a fighter, but it raises the profile to the point where people see, like, oh yeah, okay, I saw that. This is so it's a big fight for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that always helps, you know what I mean? I think that business is always going to do well. I've done enough in the sport already.
Sure.
That if I just wanted to just drop the gloves right now and just say I don't want to do this anymore, I'm still going to be fine. But, you know, I came to the UFC for one purpose, and that's just to get my hands on the belt and defend it a couple of times. And that's what I'm here for, you know, to check on that.
Are you a good teacher? Like, meaning, are you
Okay.
like a patient teacher?
I'm a patient teacher. I teach from my experience, like somebody like Matt who's done it. He's been there and done that, you know. So like when he teaches his students, he's teaching with a certain kind of conviction and belief. He's done it before, you know. So it's just like, listen, you're gonna do this, or you know, it's not gonna work for you. That's it, you know.
There's something about when you show something where, like, yeah, this one saved my arm from getting broken versus Caro Parisi. When you're like, yo, I can show you this one that saved my arm or got me out of getting strangled in a real fight.
Yep.
The students
It's different.
Students like that. But that's what's nice. That always gives you. Having a school, or me, I've always been a teacher as long as I've been a fighter, actually even before, and it always gives you that feel, you know, that comfortable feeling of if everything went away, you still have your school, you still have your jiu-jitsu, you know. How'd you get involved with Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Because I know, did you have the wrestling background first? No.
I came from a karate background.
That's what I'm saying. What was your first into martial arts first? What'd you start off with?
I started off with karate, and I thought that was jiu-jitsu because it was spelled J-U, J-I-G-T-S-U, and it was traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu, which was like wrist locks and stuff like that.
How old were you?
I was like 20.
Okay.
20, you know?
All right. And then from there?
From there, I did like a bunch of karate tournaments, and I just would like buy UFC and Pride tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would just like study from that. I would buy the old grappling magazines. Matt Serra used to be in the grappling magazines. You know, a bunch of you know, pioneers of the sport were in those kind of magazines. In the grappling magazine, the Black Belt magazine, and they would go through these like tutorials of like the move, and I would just do that with a couple of friends. And one day my sensei was like, look, man, you know, I think that you're in the wrong place. And he sent me an address to a Helson Gracie school that was in the Bronx. And that's how the journey started there.
That's where you're from, right?
Who was your teacher there?
Mike Casey. He was
Sounds
Mike
familiar.
Casey.
You're from the Bronx?
Yes.
No, what was it like growing up there? Was it a safe upbringing, or was it like one of those ones you're either going to go one direction or the other?
You either go in one direction or the other.
Really?
You know, and it's pretty when you get shot out the gun, you're pretty much geared to go in one direction. If you can veer that bullet off, you know, then you're pretty strong, you know?
Yeah. Did you have times where you thought like you might not go down the right? Because it's hard if everybody around you is doing a certain thing. It's kind of hard to not fall into it.
No, I fell into the same thing that was available in my environment. That's all you do. You know what I mean? Like,
how did you get out of that?
Oh, man, like it just had that like.
routine?
It took me getting like locked up again and again and again.
Yeah,
it took me going to work and just realizing that I'm on the train with the same people, the same time every morning, and I was like, wait a minute, man. You know, something's not right here. You know, I don't want to do this.
Would you get locked up for like something violent, a fight, or a?
I mean, it was just like, you know, when I was younger, you know, I didn't have a lot of money, you know, so like, you know, there was a lot of drug dealing going on and stuff like that. So I got involved.
Well, look at you
in stuff.
turning your life around.
Yeah, man.
That's an inspiration in itself. Now you're headlining a UFC fight night.
I know.
Would you fight when you were locked up? I got locked up for one day only. This is why I pay my taxes. I spent 27 hours in the tombs, and I'm like, I'm not going to survive here.
Wait, why
I
did you?
can't do it.
What happened?
It was a radio stunt. Me and Louis Black were in a cell together. It was a radio stunt. There was a bunch of naked girls on a bus, and we got too close to Clinton's parade route. It was a whole thing. And Giuliani had us arrested. It was 27 hours. But they put us in the tombs
Naked
just to break
girls
our
on
ball.
a bus getting her. That got me both horny and scared at the same time.
We were literally just calling into the radio show.
That's called bullpen therapy.
Yeah, it worked too because
Did you burn your clothes? I always do. I always did.
Oh no, I guess because
They
so
stink.
they do,
Yeah.
yeah. No, but I remember being grateful I didn't have to shit because there was no door on the thing, and one of the guys was giving me advice like, no, what you got to do the way is you take toilet paper and you roll it up and you shove it in there to stuff. I'm like, I don't want to live like this. This is not the way to go.
That's not good.
But there were guys in there that were so comfortable.
Yeah.
So comfortable being locked up. A guy was yelling at the guard for his cheese sandwich, and I'm like, that guy is is relaxed is here as I am at home, that's a scary thing. So I'm like,
and you get thousands and thousands of people who think like this,
and they do, and they're not afraid when they're there.
Well, maybe he was just a delicious cheese sandwich.
They're not. Well, the Tombs, a lot of these guys. The one thing that saved us.
Thank you, Chris.
The one thing that saved.
This is a really delicious apple.
It probably was.
I actually heard a homeless guy in there. He was like, he kept going to the CO. He was like, I was promised another sandwich. And he kept saying it all night long. And then he got a sandwich and we got him out the cell. You know, he was making too much noise.
He was being loud. Do you see fights in there? And the Tombs people usually don't fight a lot of times because they just go in to see the judge. Nobody wants any extra trouble.
I mean, if it's a fight, it's a fight over the phone. But like that's intake, you know. So the Tombs is intake. That's not. It doesn't start happening until you get to. And that's not even the Tombs. The Tombs is a different kind of lockup. Bullpen therapy, central bookings is when you go to that kind of thing that you're talking about. We go cell to cell until you reach the courtroom. It doesn't start happening until you go to the Tombs. You go to the boat. You go to Rikers Island. You know, that's where people are kind of stationary. You know, and then the people start praying on the week, and that's when you start to see.
Did you ever go to Rikers?
Oh yeah.
And how long were you there for? What's the longest time you did?
9 months.
All right, that's a while on Rikers. And so how far into that did you realize, all right, I got to fight this guy?
Oh, no, you got to do that right away, you know?
You do?
Oh, right away. I mean, like, because, you know, people are praying on the week. And
can't get punked in there,
no? If you get punked the first day, you're going to have a long road, man, the rest of the way.
What's the way that somebody tried to punk you? Like, how do you know that, okay, a guy is trying to do this, even though he may not seem on the surface?
Somebody might just sit right next to you, and they might just bump your leg like this. And if you don't do nothing, then they'll start going, yo, man, what's going on? They'll start putting their fingers in your pocket. It's very intrusive.
Got to break a jaw, Jimmy.
You got to do something,
So
man.
if a guy bumps your leg, do you say something?
You got to bump him back and be like, yo, what's up, man? You know, you got to knuckle up. You got to do something, man. You gotta let people know in that kind of environment. And I don't like to talk about this a lot, but since you asked, if you're in that environment, you gotta let people know that you're a little freaking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, once you've established dominance, then people are like, okay, that's not gonna be an easy target. Let me leave him alone. So every once in a while, you gotta flip out.
I wouldn't have handled it well. I would have said, sir, I'm sure it was inadvertent, but your leg bumped mine. Let's avoid that if we can.
See, that's not bad as long as you would hit him afterwards, you know?
No, I don't want to hit him afterwards. I don't punch very hard. But I'm fascinated by that because there's like, you know, the ability to survive in that situation. It's not an easy place.
I don't want to say that what the choice is that you'd have to make in there, Jimmy.
I know what the choice would be. Believe me, I would be the only survival mechanism I would have would be being funny. That's the only shot.
Oh, not the only.
Well, no, I mean before that one,
Jimmy.
I trust. Do you don't think I know that they would cut out a mop and make me wear it on my head and fucking hustle for cigarettes? I understand.
Fresh fish.
Yeah, I know.
Jimmy goes out.
I wouldn't be allowed to stand when I urinated. I understand.
If I was in their cell with you, I'd protect you, Jimmy.
I appreciate
They'd
that.
have to get through me.
I appreciate
and
that.
I'm not touching anybody.
You're a good friend.
All right.
I do appreciate that.
That's something good that was something bad that you go through in life, and as long as you use it to turn it around like I'm doing right now, like I talk to a lot of my younger students and a lot of the youth about things like that so that they won't repeat those kind of mistakes. You know, that's no place for anybody to be. It's not cool in there. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's a thing of the past. It's something that like I don't advise anybody to go
But to
into.
read the situation, and also like to read other people's intentions really well. I never would have thought that was a problem if a guy did that because I just wouldn't read that right.
Well, just being in a certain environment, you know, being introduced to a raw environment teaches you how to read people. You don't need to be locked up to learn how to read people. Yeah. I mean, you can be in a good environment and learn how to read people if your parents gave you the proper upbringing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's how I see that.
Yeah, I read people well in a different way. You know, I've sensed violence very well because I'm not good at it. So I've learned how to walk away from it very quickly. Like I can sense when it's happening.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like a spider sense.
Yeah. Very, very, very good.
Vagina sense.
Kind of,
yeah. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Get me out.
Fight or flee. No. It's what is
fight
it?
Or flight.
Fight or flight. Yeah.
But that's kind of a similarity, though. I feel like between fighting and comedy, in the sense that you have to be able to read a situation quickly.
Why is the guy
sense
talking?
Energy, whatever. Right?
Why is the guy talking in the front row?
Yeah.
Why is that guy heckling? Is he being a piece of shit, or is he literally trying to have fun, or is he mad at me because his girlfriend is? You do have to make those quick judgments, but it's not the same as being locked up on Rikers.
No, I'd imagine not.
Comedy is just a reiteration of truth, man. As long as you can make people understand something and kind of put it in a twist, you know, then you got them, man.
Yeah, that's why they get mad at you sometimes too. They don't like whatever truth you're saying that you think is the truth that they don't think is the truth. It gets ugly. But speaking, Matt and I were talking before you came into it. I wanted to ask you about this too, about fight promotion. There's a little bit of flack now going back and forth between Aljo Sterling and Cody Garbrandt. Because, Aljo wants to eventually fight him for the belt. And it got to a point, it was almost like when Conor and Mayweather, you know what I'm talking about? When Conor and Mayweather, where they were going back and forth, and he said, get in line, boy. Cody said this to Aljo. And he said, you can't get mad at the boy. And Aljo's like, unless you're KKK, stop calling me boy. It got to a racial place. And how do you feel about like pre-fight promotion like that, where a guy is saying something? Would that personally offend you? Would you go like, that's fucking out of line, or that's just pre-fight shit talking?
I mean, I don't like to try to take things on like a racial platform, but I could see where he's coming from. If somebody's calling you a boy and you're a freaking man, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's like, in that kind of context, but like, it is what it is. I mean, from a fighter's perspective, beyond this whole racial thing, Aljamain he's hungry, man. He's a young lion and he wants to eat. And he's letting the champ know, like, yo, man, like, I want to scrap, so you're sitting there talking all this waiting in the line stuff, and I'm talking about fighting, Yeah. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about, I get it.